just me going out of the way when I should've went home. Only time of the day I get to spend on my own. I was tripping off high, used to sleep at your crib. Should drive out right where you live and pick you up on the way. We ain't spoken so long.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Simone Nicole here, back at it again with yet another video. And today is going to be a good old sit down hair video maintenance type vibe. I don't know why I just made that so many words. I thought that it would be good if we touched base on my hair and what's going on with it. I think the last time we talked, I was just showing y'all my maintenance routine, but my hair has changed so much. I was just gonna start talking about like why my hair has changed so much, but I'm like, I'm gonna talk through a fair bit of this video. Usually I do these videos as a voiceover, so in an effort for this to not drag, I'm gonna start with getting my hair pre-pooed before we get into the shower. And while we're doing that, I'll talk you through all of the things that you need to know. So, ooh, child. This hair, I have been slicking it back in a bun for at least over a week. So this wash day is so overdue, and anybody that has natural hair knows that like the more and more you slick that hair back, the more and more you're screwing yourself for wash day. So I knew it was coming. I knew what I was doing to myself, and it's not looking too hot. Hold on, let me actually increase my exposure a little bit because I like the way my skin tone looks, but you can't really see my hair. It's obviously like very dry looking. What the heck is that? It looks like I still have color in my hair, and I absolutely don't. Is my hair that dirty? What's going on? Child, I don't know, but we are going to take our time with this first step, and this first step shouldn't really be new to anybody that watches my channel. I'm going to go in with my Nasara Naturals products. I have said this time and time again. I will link these products, but it is very hard to get your hands on them. She did actually just open a storefront in Texas. I forget where in Texas. Any hoosers. So I am just gonna part out the very front part of my hair and probably my middle part as well, because this is the weakest part of my hair. And while I do love this protein treatment, it is not strong enough to do like the real repair work that I needed to do. So I'm gonna go in with the Olaplex number 3 treatment. I seem to get this comment a lot when I do anything with protein treatments, but people are always warning me of the potential to have protein overload in my hair. And I appreciate people like really looking out for me and like really trying to make sure that I don't damage my hair on accident any further. But I think that because a lot of people are new here, people don't know that I started off strictly doing natural hair content. I used to actually only use products that were water soluble. Like that's how deep in it I was. I have a lot of product knowledge. Y'all just don't hear me talk about it anymore. I skip over information thinking that things are common knowledge when I guess they aren't. So you absolutely can get something called protein overload in your hair. I think that people need to be careful about using products just because they see their fave using it, when the issue might not be a protein deficiency in your hair. It could be many other things. So it's important to test things out and to really look up what protein deficient hair looks and behaves like to understand if that's your issue. And if it's not, girl, back off the proteins. So now we are just going to put this Olaplex onto the front parts of my hair. I'm also very aware that this product is supposed to be used on clean washed hair. I get that. I totally do. That will make the product the most effective as possible. But for me personally, I wash my hair in the shower. I do not wash my hair in the sink. I hate washing my hair in the sink because it tangles up so badly from like having my hair flipped over and then flipping it back. Not a fan at all. So the only other option would be for me to get in the shower, wash my hair, then get out, put the treatment in, and then get back in the shower to take the treatment out after it sits on my hair for a sufficient amount of time. You're out of your mind. I want the product to be able to sit for as long as possible. And I think that when I changed out my shower head to one that's filtered, it makes my water go cold much quicker. So I'm trying to make the time that I spend in the shower as efficient as possible. So that's why y'all will see me apply these treatments to dirty hair. While I understand that I would get more out of them if I started on clean hair, braid, ta, 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 I just don't. And I've been fine. I'm probably not getting like the full effects of the products, but I'm okay with that. They work just fine for me, and I've seen results from doing it this way. I'm gonna work on getting this Olaplex in this little section here, just spreading that on, and then I'm gonna move on to the rest of my head with the Nicole Naturals next. Okay, I'm back. Now I'm just going through and kind of like separating my hair to get out any like obvious knots and pull out any loose hair, because something else that you guys won't really see me doing or trying my best to avoid is using combs and or brushes, because that is how I ended up thinning my hair out real bad over time without realizing it, through yanking through my hair with combs and brushes. So I try my best to avoid it, even though I have a couple in front of me. This one is to part. This pattern brush is my favorite detangling brush of all time. I love it because I don't feel like it's ripping out my hair. I've never tried the what is the unbrush? The Felicia Leatherwood brush tab. Y'all know the brush I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll pop it up on screen. I have tried all of them. They yank my hair out. The one that like goes like this when you like it's real loose, that one ripped my hair out. I'm all good. I'm all good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go in with this pre-poo and sealing hair oil. And I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this Shebe powder and add it into the pre-poo. Mind you, I have no actual idea if this stuff works at all. I was at the beauty supply store and they got me. It doesn't even specify like the amount that you're supposed to put in the oil. It just says put some product in the oil. So I'm just gonna take like a scoop, and I'm using it because I know that this is like the very last of this bottle for me. So I'm like, why not just incorporate it in there? Shebe powder is really, really good for hair growth and just like hair strength. And I'm pretty sure it's a, I was gonna say South African. I don't know what region of Africa, but I know that this is very commonly used in African cultures. And then I'm just gonna put some in my hand and go ahead and rub that on my hair. This is what I mean by like pulling out stray hairs. I don't know if y'all can see the stray hairs that we're losing. It's much better to pull them out like that than to have a comb going through and yanking them out. I guess I'm gonna use this time to address like just common comments that I get. Because I usually make these videos voiceovers, the videos move pretty quickly, so I don't have time to like really sit and talk to y'all. So now we are gonna go in with the magic potion herself, the Nicole Naturals protein treatment. So throughout this video, you're going to see me use a lot of different products. I feel like I say this every single time and until I'm blue in the face, but y'all, I do this for a living. I get so much stuff for free all the time. It's called PR, and companies send content creators products in hopes that they will put the product in a video, because that is free marketing. I don't think that a lot of people like get, especially like newer people to my channel, and I think also I attract an older audience than what I'm aware. So it really does sound like people truly just don't understand what I do and why I have this many products. So I use this many products, one, because I have access to them, and two, because I don't want them to go to waste. I don't live in the same state as my family, and my friends is stocked up for as much as they want of my hair care stuff. So I'm trying to use them before they go bad. I am often asked like, oh, well, you could just give them to your subscribers. I'm not giving open and used products to people. Like, that's crazy. And I understand that people are like, no, I don't care. Like, I will take whatever. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I really only feel comfortable doing that for the people that are actually like close to me, like in my life. So yeah, that's why I use as many products as I do. I don't think that you will ever hear me say, you need this thing in order for your hair to look like this. Because for me, I'm always thinking that a person is gonna be looking at the content and looking at the products I use and picking out what could interest them or what they could want. I'm not a big like, you need to go run and get this now. Like, in this economy, baby, please. I try things out so that y'all don't have to, so that y'all don't go out wasting your money. And I take that very, very seriously. And just know that you do not need all of these things. Sorry if I sound like kind of snappy, but I'm just like, the comments are kind of not overwhelming, but but I get them so often, and I'm just like, y'all, I'm not telling y'all to run out and buy a million different products. I really am not. I have access to these products, so I'm going to use them. Oh, I also don't think I explicitly said why I prefer to use the Olaplex on the front of my hair and not the rest of my hair. If the Nicole isn't as effective as Olaplex, why not just use Olaplex all over my head? I really like how strong my hair feels ever since I started religiously using the Nicole products. And I also love that my hair almost never feels dry anymore, because before I used to say that I had pretty dry hair that like broke pretty easily. Not anymore. I think that her products do a really good job of strengthening, not so much like reverting damage, but definitely strengthening the hair that you already have there. And then I think that the Olaplex does a really good job. You can see like my curls. It does a really good job at actually working on the bonds in the hair. I'm pretty sure when I did that sponsorship with them, they said it was the sulfide bonds, if I'm remembering correctly. But any hoosers, so addressing what I put in the title. Yes, I feel that I am basically transitioning all over again. And all my natural hair girls know what transitioning means, but in case you don't, transitioning was a term that became very, very popular back when everybody was going natural in like the 2010s-ish, where you are growing out your relaxer and growing in your natural hair. What my hair looks like absolutely gives transition. In my last hair video that I did, it was like a week in the life of my hair now that my hair is back healthy. I still consider my hair to be very healthy. It's just way thinner than what it usually is. Another huge question that I get asked is, how do you grow your hair so quickly? I would always tell people like there's no science to it really. It's just like me taking good and consistent care of my hair, and I absolutely still feel the same way. But the biggest thing that has changed is the fact that I am now taking my Mary Ruth's vitamin every single day. Please don't click off, don't click off, don't click off. I feel like you would think that Mary Ruth is paying me to talk about this supplement the way that I talk about it so highly. Baby, Mary Ruth don't know who the hell I am. The most that I get is commission off of whoever decides to purchase the products because of me. But besides that, Mary Ruth ain't cut me a check yet. Would love if they did, but they ain't cut me a check yet. I've just been continuously speaking about it because I feel like people have been asking me for years, like basically what is a hack? What is a trick I can use to grow my hair? That's the closest it's gonna get, baby. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Now that my hair is is two different textures, I can no longer do my wash and goes. I would love to be able to, because I'm a wash and go girl. Why did my hair thin out as much as it did? I'm glad you asked, class. It thinned out so much because I was doing too much of my hair. I became more popular on socials, and my bread and butter at the time was natural hair content. So I was starting to get sponsorships, which was amazing, but it was mostly with hair care brands, which is also still amazing. But the problem is that now I'm trying out new products every 3 to 5 business days. Like I'm starting to get PR, and it means that my hair no longer has a routine. It no longer knows what products to expect anymore. I gave up the whole water soluble thing because I was just kind of like over being so restrictive about my hair, even though my hair was absolutely the healthiest it ever was during that phase of my life. What it came down to is the fact that hair has memory, right? And so you want to be using the same products on your hair for the most part so that your hair can remember how to, do the things, because a lot of people talk about how inconsistent their hair looks and how it won't behave properly. The same way that we talk about training your hair to be straight, you have to train your hair to be curly as well. My first wash and go did not turn out super defined and perfect. Like it took a while to get there because your hair is learning how to do that. So I was using too many products, and then I remember like I would have brand deals due like literally days apart. So I would do my hair fully for one brand deal and then get in the shower, wash it, and do my hair again for the next brand deal. And while that was nice, sure, I was compromising the health of my hair. That is one of the many reasons why natural hair content is no longer my main form of content. I've talked about this in depth as to why I left the natural hair community. Essentially, the Cliff Notes version is that people started to not really care about me. They only really cared about my hair, which is not a good thing, especially for like brand versatility. You never want to box yourself into one specific niche, because in order to really elevate in this career, people need to care about you and not just like what they can get from you, as opposed to I click on her videos because I like Simone. That is the point that I wanted to get to. So that plus the fact that I noticed that my hair was taking a visible downturn, I decided to pull back on the natural hair content. So even though you'll see me using a lot of different products, at the core of it, I am using the same products over and over and over again. With that being said, I've yapped y'all's ear off for the entire beginning of this video. I am going to let this sit on my hair. I'm gonna go down to the gym, walk for a little bit, move my body. I'm gonna sit in this mask for a good long while to let it really work in there. So next time I see y'all, we will be in the shower. All right, y'all, it is time for the official wash part of this video. So I am starting out by just like rinsing the treatment out of my hair. And then I'm gonna untwist my hair and then go in with the Sacred Clarifying Shampoo Scalp Scrub / shampoo. I cannot talk highly enough about this product. After you use that treatment, it is recommended that you wash your hair 3 times. So I am going to wash my hair. I think I washed it twice with the Sacred before going in next with the Fenty Rich One shampoo. I love these Fenty products, but the only thing I don't like is the packaging. I think they're actually really hard to pump, and I was just trying to show y'all that. But the product inside is exceptional. I've already had this conversation in another video about like the weirdness between like pinning Sacred and Fenty against each other. Like, I don't really understand it because the products are very good. So I am going in for a 3rd or 4th wash because I really want to make sure that all of that treatment is out of my hair. Now we're going to go in with the Rich One conditioner, which is one of my favorite products in Fenty's entire line. I put just a little, like, I guess you could say first coat on my hair. Now I'm gonna go in and add more conditioner and start to detangle my hair in sections. I am using a brush, even though I said earlier that I don't like using brushes, but I am being very, very gentle while I'm using the brush. And also, I wouldn't have to do this if I didn't wait for 2 or 3 weeks before I washed my hair. So, word to the wise, don't do your hair and your hair won't have to do you. You know what I mean? So now I am going to rinse out the conditioner, but not fully, because I'm going to go on top of it with my favorite deep conditioner at the moment, which is the Olaplex Moisture Mask. I absolutely love this stuff. I'm almost out of it and I'm gonna cry. It's so good. It melts into my hair so well. I'm gonna leave that on for a little while I do the rest of my shower routine. Then I am going to rinse that out and then go in with my Fenty Waterboy leave-in because I don't like getting out of the shower without something on my hair. When I say this leave-in is so good, oh my goodness, I love it. So now our hair is nice and washed, it's moisturized, it's prepped for the style, and now it ain't nothing to it but to do it. Now meet me in the styling chair back in the office. Hello everybody, we have made it out of the shower. We're all nice and greased up and ready to go to sleep. I'm not gonna talk through this part too much, except to show you guys like the clear difference between where the new growth is clearly coming in and where my old hair is. So I like to keep my hair damp throughout the entire process. So when I get out of the shower, I make sure I put a shower cap on. And then y'all saw that I put the Fenty Waterboy leave-in in. It is really good, like really very good. We're gonna be doing a braid out today because, as I said at the beginning of the video, I love doing wash and goes, but because of the drastic difference in hair texture that I'm now dealing with, a wash and go is a lot harder to, it's not that it's harder to achieve, I guess you could say, it's just, it doesn't look as good and as even, in my personal opinion. So we are going to start from the back and work our way up. I just parted out the bottom section from basically ear to ear. And then I'm gonna give my hair a quick little finger detangle before we get started. And even now, I'm sure that y'all can absolutely see against the white background. Do y'all see how thick my hair is at the root and how thin it is at the base? Like, is that not wild? Ugh. For today's leave-in, I was debating between the Mane Choice Tropical Moringa Rinse Out or Leave-In Conditioner and the Melanin Hair Care Twist Elongating Cream. But this is actually a styler. Now that I'm looking at it, it's actually a styler, so I can't use it as a leave-in. So we are gonna go in with the Mane Choices Tropical Moringa Leave-In or Rinse Out Conditioner. Fun fact, and a reason why the Mane Choice will always be close to my heart, they were the first ever brand to send me a PR package, and they were also the first brand to pay me for a sponsorship. Or maybe not, I think actually the first brand was Ana Luisa. However, the Mane Choice was the first brand that I gave my rates to, and they were just like, okay, we can pay you that, which was really refreshing and really wonderful. So the Mane Choice will always have a very, very special place in my heart. So we have smoothed that leave-in into the hair. And the reason why I love a braid out too is that you don't really have to be very precious about it. Y'all know my wash and goes take me a while because I'm sitting there finger detangling, coiling, doing all the things. I ain't doing all that. I am not doing all that when it comes to my braid outs. Up next, see, I was going back and forth. I had a braid out that was so good a few weeks back and I cannot remember what products I used because I don't have my product that I love. It's the Tropical Moringa Braid Out Glaze. I'll pop a picture up on the screen. So good, but I just haven't reordered it and I ran out. So this is the styler that we're going in with. I'm going to start with just a little bit on the tip of my finger and then rub that in. I find that because I'm not looking for it to look perfect upon application, I can kind of OD with the products that I'm using. Something is telling me that I did not use that. I'm gonna switch. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Everything I just did is canceled. Not really, but I'm gonna switch over to the Mane Choice Curl Elongating Styling Cream because I feel like I have not used this on anything but braids or twists. Not my hair braids and twists. I'm gonna go in with the same amount that I just used. Something just didn't feel right about that application. This one feels more familiar. But I was saying before, my golden rule with wash and goes is your hair, exactly how it looks wet is how it's going to look dry. So I make sure that my hair is super defined and giving me exactly what I need it to give before I set everything into place and get under the dryer. Braid outs, you really can't tell until the end. So I feel like I go a little product heavy. So I'm going to be very careful about not doing that today. The last styler that we're going to use is actually going to be this Miche Curl to Foam Styling Mousse. And it has a really good amount of hold. So I'm not going to use too much because it really does feel like it changes texture when you put it on your hair. It's really nifty. And then I am just going to braid my little plait down. It's crazy because you can literally see the hair at the root really soak that product in versus the hair at the end where it's sitting on top. I'm literally dealing with different porosities of hair in my same head. My hair is getting healthier and thicker. This time next year, my hair is going to be back to where it used to be. I know it. For whatever reason, my microphones are about to die. So I am going to just let y'all watch me do the rest of my hair and jam out to some music. There's not really going to be a rhyme or reason as to how I part my hair. You actually want to keep the parts pretty messy because you don't want explicit parts throughout your hair. It's going to be harder to get rid of those parts once you take your braids out. So let's just get going on the rest of this hair.
Some of y'all go get washed, some of y'all just go pop shit, some of y'all just go talk, but none of y'all ain't really got shit, some of y'all just look lost. I get this type of feel you ain't accustomed to. I swear I'll be at peace if it weren't for you. Yeah, yeah, I only want your love if it's silent. But if you fuck me, then fuck you, and that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. Yeah, that's the way I like it. You can smile, but none of these bitches. That's the way I like it. Wiping them down in front of these niggas. That's the way I like it. I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 Baby, follow my command, be like zombie. Go down on me, oh, with your coca body. Follow my command, be like zombie. Go down on me, oh, with your coca body. Or take your milky for front enough for me. Hold on for me, I no go to me corny. And if you're milky na fighty, I saw me to look. Baby, gonna, waka waka when you enter my licha. Baby, gonna, do you give me sugar, wahala, hala. Mona Lisa.
Okay, voiceover Simone is back for the final section of this video. I am just going to go on with this Main Choice Restorative Spray. I love this on the hair at the top of the morning. Then I'm going to do some Sacred Edge Drops. I have been liking them. Can't speak fully to the effectiveness of them just yet because I haven't been using it for long enough. And then I just put a little more of that Shea Moisture Oil on my hands to fluff my hair out. And as y'all can see, the thinness is really apparent in the back of my hair. So I decided to go in with just a few clips throughout my hair. Not to be shady, I will not be linking these clips down below. While I like the clips themselves, I no longer stand with the company that makes them, unfortunately. So I am going in to fill out the hair with just a little something, then slicking my edges down, and that is it for this video. The hair looks so good. It's getting to a place where it's going to be so good and healthy really soon here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and learned a little something if you're on your transition journey as well. And with all that being said, I will see you guys super duper soon in my next video. Bye guys.